So Reno is real estate NFTs.
Yeah, well, it's real estate NFT official and AKA RENO.
Would you like to give us the rundown of the protocol?
Well, sure. Our project is going to be based around getting funds from the mint and then using that in order to purchase property. We're going to be purchasing property in North Cyprus, where I am currently based. I mean, the whole idea is that we're going to invest into property, and each year we'll be holding a vote among the holders. Do they want to reinvest all the profits, or do they want to start payouts? And there's two phases: the scaling phase, where we reinvest everything, and the payout phase, where we pay out the holders. All the details can be found in our white paper on exact percentages that will be reinvested, how much will go to the team, and how much will be paid out. But in short, it's 93% reinvested during the scaling phase. 5% will be going to the team annually, and then there is a 2% which will be for unexpected expenses that may come along, with properties. That's really like the main bit of it. That's 1.4 million dollars will be allocated to that. We're planning to collect 2 million, give or take a few thousand, depending how many people we get on whitelist and public sale, because our whitelist price is $500 and our public sale price is $600. And our golden kind of target is to be scaling for 7 years, because from our estimations and projections, we believe we could reach 120% ROI on initial investment for our holders. That's obviously after 7 years of scaling and reinvesting everything back into the business. Then there is a little budget allocated for crypto investments. $60,000 will be allocated to stuff like BNB, Ethereum, and some smaller coins. And then $100,000 will be used to build out net of partnerships, which we're working on. And the whole point of that is to partner up with projects, and those projects be helping one another out, sharing some utility with each other. And this is where we're gonna get like a utility side of things coming. Some project may provide some educational material, access to a platform, access to a game, if it's a GameFi project. And after 1 year, we have a plan to develop a token, which would be used among the partners, and holders of the token will be able to purchase something from our partners and ourselves. From Reno side of things, we plan to give ability to holders of the token to purchase a property that's in our portfolio here in North Cyprus or beyond, because by that time we probably might explore other areas of the market. And the token will be airdropped to our NFT holders, to our partners, and you'll be able to gain some of it by locking your NFT in a contract. And all that utility will be coming a year later. We don't want to develop token just yet, because we want to firstly build out the top of that utility, not just throw a token out there which will plummet in the price and no one use it, and just say utility is coming, guys, just hold on, which most projects do that way. That's what I noticed personally, and we don't want to do that. So that's kind of a basic rundown of the things we're going to be doing and planning to do.
Okay, so walk me through this. Let's say I'm an investor.
I think you're muted. I think we can't hear you just yet.
Thank you. So walk me through this. Let's say I'm an investor, and
Mhm.
my investment options are. What did you say? There were two tiers.
I know, it's just one tier. You purchase the NFT, and you will get ROI on your initial investment. So you can buy it for $500, and the ROI will be based on that initial investment, and 600, which is a public sale, and of that it will be percentage based on that initial investment. So the initial investment comes from the original price that you paid for the NFT in the first place.
Okay, so the NFT costs $500, and does this all go to a pool of funds that goes to buy investment properties, rentals, multi-family units? You know, what are the great details here?
Yeah, so we collect all those funds, and the funds will be used to purchase investment properties. We're aiming to be going for long-term rentals as we try to be as conservative as possible in our project because we think crypto likes conservatism in itself because crypto is risky itself, and then a project does something risky, that's double the risk, and we try to be conservative. Though we're an NFT project, we invest in real estate, which is a conservative option of investment. We're planning to be going for flats in the middle range price. From that's the best option what we identified in the market here in North Cyprus. We're going to be also doing subletting. That's also what we're working on and researching the market in that sphere as well. Regarding the experience that we have is I have 4 years of experience in crypto in general. Plus, I have two properties back in Russia. I'm Russian, so is my co-founder. I will get into that a bit later as well. I have two investment properties back in Russia, and my co-founder, his name is Ilya. He was also involved in purchasing of properties, management of properties, assessment of properties, and like transferring the properties to one owner to another. He was involved with those stuff. He's also an architect. He's just finishing his last year of
Nice.
university in the UK. And when that is finished, then he will come over here to me and we'll be doing the project in full scale. We also partnered with a local realtor here. He's been in the market for 7 years now. He himself has 13 properties here, which he's renting out and working with people. He was the one who helped me find the apartment I'm living in, and I've been in contact with him for the past 7 months now, and that is as long as I've been here. As soon as I came, we established connection, and I got him in on the idea, and he's all happy about it. He'll be helping us out because obviously he knows the market better than anyone would with his experience. And other reason is because there needs to be a bit of a history lesson here. Cyprus itself originally was one big island, and later on there was a war between the Greek Cypriots and the Turkish Cypriots. And after the war, the island divided into two pieces, the South Cyprus and the North Cyprus. So when someone is referring to Cyprus, they generally refer to the south side. And where we are, it's the north side. The issue with the north side, it's only officially recognized only by Turkey. And other countries kind of don't recognize it, which could come as a risk, which we warn people about. But from my experience of being here, and generally from what I've heard from people who come here, it's not a big issue really because the trade still takes place, traveling is still easy into here, getting a visa here is easy as well. All the business conducted is legal, it's all on paper. The governments do communicate if needed, the
Right.
north side, the south side, the north side, and to everyone else. There have been cases of like criminals thinking they can flee to North Cyprus, and that didn't succeed because authorities get in contact with one another, and they come and pick anyone they want up and take them to jail. So this kind of thing is secure from my perspective, but of course do your own research, guys. Don't
So,
just trust me on it. But this is the kind of thing with it, and therefore, because of this whole war breakout and the division, some of the land that's been in the north still technically belongs to people who moved to the south side. So the land is kind of divided in that sense. And in order to be 100% confident in the land you buy, you need to have a close relationship with local authorities so they can quickly kind of, check all the documentation and give you a Turkish deed stating that this land will only belong to you and there won't be a Greece Cypriot coming along and saying, yo, this is my land, like, I just fled back, a few years ago, but now I'm coming back to claim it. For this reason, we're working with a local realtor because he has those connections and he's a native speaker, which makes it much easier to communicate with the authorities and finding everything out correctly and
yeah.
efficiently for us. So yeah,
So with zero
I've seen
understanding.
you muted just once again.
Yeah, so with my super limited understanding, it sounds like Northern has declared their independence, but still works with the South at, on an official level. And
In some sense, yeah. The whole idea was what kind of happened why the war broke out because
yeah,
the Cypriot island it had the Greek Cypriots and the Turkish Cypriots, and they kind of managed to get along. But at one point, Greek Cypriots gained the majority of the power on the island, and a nationalistic government came into the power and started out the island slowly and slowly, and the tension rose year by year until at one point it became a proper war between two nations, and then Turkey stepped in because obviously it was Turkish Cypriots and it's their natives. So they stepped in to give them a hand and defend them. And when they stepped in, brought their troops, that's when the border was established. It happened some time ago. I don't remember the exact year, so you better off googling it.
so how's the real
But
estate
since
market?
then,
So how's the real estate market post war? I'm assuming the war's over.
yeah, now it's war is over and it's very peaceful here.
Great.
There's a lot of universities, a lot of development here, and one of the reasons we came here is because of the development and the potential in the long run. Because the south side is much more developed than the north side, and how pricing for housing there is
Higher.
sometimes 10 times bigger than here.
Okay.
But yeah, but you need to keep in mind that it's the same island, same nature, same sea views and everything.
So it's
So
all
in the
this.
long run,
It's all the same.
yeah,
If you live in the north, you have the same beauty in a land and
yeah, exactly. But
okay.
it's more developing. It's kind of only now, past 2 years when really big money started coming into here and development started taking place. It's far less developed than the south side, but because of that, we identified a potential in the long run because it will reach that point
Right.
eventually.
I would say a good bet is to invest in the side that's not invested in yet because it will be.
Exactly,
Yeah,
exactly.
okay,
This is
cool.
what we're aiming for, Renault.
Now now is the project isolated here? And when I say that, I mean, do you have plans to expand as in other users from other parts of the world? There's real estate all over the place. Is this a railroad for is this a path for others to follow and join, or is it
Well,
isolated?
we're open to investors from all over the world, no matter from where you are.
Okay.
And in regarding properties, we're planning to start off in North Cyprus, but we have plans to go beyond and explore other areas. We have one guy in our community, actually, he is in Vancouver, and he has some investment properties there himself, and he's strongly encouraging us to, once we get rolling in North Cyprus, to go there and, purchase some
Yeah.
properties, and he can help us out and stuff. So we are already looking at
Yeah.
moving further than Cyprus, but that will take place maybe a year, 2 years after once we start getting some returns here, and then those returns could be reinvested on purchasing the properties elsewhere, making our portfolio more conservative and more diversified, which is obviously a beneficial thing for the community.
Hey, I would have just my opinion. I would take note of anyone that says expand and people in the community that are from different parts of the world that say, hey, this is a hot spot for real estate because real estate's crazy. Expand, expand, expand. In my opinion,
Yeah,
but
we
go on,
completely agree.
go on. You buy the NFT $500. Let's say I buy 10 of them because I want to splurge a bit. What am I expected to return? What can I expect?
So obviously the main would be the return on investment you will be getting. As I said, each year there will be a vote held among the holders. Uh, do holders want us to start the payout phase? We will each year present an ROI that we're able to provide based on the returns we're getting and based on the percentage of those returns which will be going to holders. And tell, look, guys, this is the ROI we're getting and are able to provide to you. Do you want us to carry on scaling? And the scaling phase where nearly all the profits are being reinvested back into the project, or do you want us to move to the payout phase where 63% of all the profits will be distributed among the holders and equally among all the NFTs, and then 35% will be distributed, will be going back into the business, will be reinvested. So even during the payout phase, the business will still be growing.
Right. Even during the payout, you still get 35% to expand.
Yeah. So
Okay.
we'll still be growing and expanding, but obviously the ROI will be growing much slower because 93% of profits and 35% of profits is completely two different things.
Okay.
So in the both stages, team takes 5%, and there is a 2 to 3%. That's a bit of a variable percentage. Will be going towards some unexpected expenses with the property. Something breaks down, we need like repaint, change the AC, all those kind of stuff which come along with it.
Now, this obviously is a vote of holders that affects all holders. Will you be using snapshot.org?
Most likely, yeah, that's what we're planning to go
Great.
for.
That's what I love to hear. Snapshot.org is the only really true way to be truly decentralized with your voting. That if I hold a whole bunch of your tokens, I can go ahead and make a vote that says, hey, I want the treasury to burn all their tokens. And if and if enough holders vote yes, then it has to happen.
Absolutely.
So I love snapshot.org. I love when people say that they will be using that for their governance token. So that's great. And 35%, even if the community votes to reinvest. No, even if the community votes to take profit, you still have 35% to expand, which is great. Now, what if they choose to take? Is there a middle ground? That's what I'm kind of thinking. Is there a middle ground where they could say, okay, we want to take a certain percentage of profit this year. So instead of just black and white, take profit or not take profit, expansionary or not reinvesting or take profit.
Mm-hmm. Well, so obviously we have the scaling phase, and if holders want for funds to be reinvested and for the maximum scaling, the 93% of profits going back into the project is the ideal way to do it. With the payout phase, the percentage of profit that will be going to holders is 63%. So keeping that in mind, those percentages won't be like those profits won't be that good. So therefore, making a lower percentage on those payouts wouldn't be really beneficial. But again, in the longer run, when the returns are higher, then we could, of course, potentially look into that. If that's what the community would want, then I don't see a reason why we wouldn't go for it, unless there will be some other reason which we'll, of course, explain to the community.
No, that's fair.
And yeah.
That's fair. It's it's not in your model. It's in your model to either do the payout or not. And yeah, that's a tough question.
Yeah, I'm just thinking.
Yeah, it's
you
tough.
start getting that kind of stuff where you like,
Yeah,
oh, we can pay percentage or maybe this percentage. You kind of get vague.
it's a tough question
and
to answer.
unclear to
Yeah.
people. Yeah, you have two options which we worked out to be the best one. Of course, we can rework them if that's what the majority wants. But we wouldn't want to do
Well,
this thing this year, and kind of keep it unclear and hard to track for average holder.
But what's likely going to happen, which I like this, is, and you probably thought of this, is every single year they're going to vote to take their payout. And you're going to reinvest 35% into more
Potentially,
into more
potentially,
properties,
and yeah,
which
that could be the case.
yeah, which is sufficient in a growing real estate market, which I gotta say, real estate's probably going to be a really big chunk of DeFi in the coming years.
Absolutely agree.
And, I'm interested in talking to anybody that's even attempting to do it because it's a daunting task. It's going to be interesting. I'm, I'm, uh, I'm an observer. I'm more into the
Well,
coins,
yeah,
yeah, the yield.
I, yeah, I've seen your AMA with Jabongs and dug into your project. You have some really great stuff going on. Some of this, despite my experience in crypto, I don't even, I can't even get my head around properly. So that's your kind of field.
I take it as a
The one
compliment.
thing
Thanks.
I will add about our project is we do warn people that all the estimation and projections are estimations and projections, and market is unexpected. So all the projected, milestones could take longer for us to achieve. We just want to be
Always.
transparent
Yeah, yeah.
about it. Yeah, if time comes and
Always.
then we are unable to fulfill that goal in time, we don't want people to be like, "Oh, you promised us." We're not promising, but this is estimations based on market research and the local expert that we communicate with. But we warn you guys, it may take longer. It's a conservative long-term investment. We're here to build generational wealth, which will take quite a while. And we
That's
do
right.
encourage our holders actually to stick to the scaling phase for as much as possible, because that would allow us to grow exponentially. Because it will be 93% of profits on the original funds, and then 93% of profits on the funds with the percentage that we gained, and it's just growing, 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 growing very quickly. And the 7-year mark, where we can provide 120% ROI on initial investment annually, is if we be scaling for those 7 years. Because obviously, if we be doing the payouts, then all of this will take even longer. Because real estate, as we all know, is very conservative and requires a lot of time to really build that wealth. But we think that it definitely is going to happen.
Yeah, real estate's solid. It just takes some time, patience. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely.
So you based in Cyprus. It's an emerging real estate market. Um, you are open to expanding to other parts of the world.
Yeah, yeah,
Uh,
absolutely.
I don't know, by virtue of partners, I guess, big stakeholders who say, hey, there's properties here. I don't know.
Yeah, absolutely. We
Yeah.
love to work with our community. And I would add one thing about the partnership side. We're working on that net of partnerships, which I mentioned, where utility will be shared. And one of the partners that we got so far is Neo Films. Great project. I advise all of you guys to check out. They're doing films linked to Web3 in terms of profits from those films, which is a very interesting concept and quite an obvious one, but not many, well, I haven't seen any project that does that kind of thing.
You
So
said
they
that
are our
was
partner currently.
what films?
And Neo Films,
Nail, like fingernails.
like NEO Neo.
Neo films,
Neo, yeah. Sorry,
like Neo
that's
from the
my accent. Yeah,
Matrix.
yeah. You can find they have a channel in our Discord, and we have channel in theirs Discord.
Great,
So we have communication in between, and definitely advise to check them out. Great project, in my opinion, and great team as well.
great. What's your role in the project?
I'm a co-founder, so is my partner. I guess I will tell you guys a bit more about ourselves and how we ended up in North Cyprus, kind of a backstory. So me and my co-founder, we go back 12 years now, since we knew one another, since we were young, and went to school together in the UK. And as time went on, we were close friends. I got into crypto, so is he back in the day. He wasn't as much into it, unlike me. I really got into it, lost a bunch of money originally, then made some money, then lost some again. Like
Yeah.
it's a classic story for everyone who gets into crypto originally. And since I kind of went into create my own project linked to something conservative, because as I mentioned before, crypto is risky, and you are doing a risky project, doubling the risk for your holders, which is not the best thing to do. And as I lost a bunch of money on it, I wanted to create something that'll be long-term conservative, but will provide a stable income and a for sure thing in a way, because it may take longer, but it will still get there. And that's how I kind of realized that looking to real estate will be a good idea. And then I was thinking about this whole thing. And then a year ago, I finalized everything in my head. I called up my partner. We discussed everything, started researching the markets, and we realized that North Cypress would be the best option for us. One of the reasons being is, as I mentioned before, both of us are Russian. We originally were born in Russia and then left when we were around 11, 12. Currently, both of us are 20 years old, so young and ambitious, as you can say. And as we were in the UK and we were researching the market, identifying the best place for us to establish the project and establish a proper business, linked with that project, we faced an issue of the whole anti-Russian propaganda kind of thing in Europe.
Yeah.
And my family, though I'm a British citizen, we had some issues in Britain as well with our bank account being frozen, and hard working with banks, because the fact that we were Russian originally made the whole thing complicated for us. And the only reasons I'm telling you about this story, guys, is when I was talking to other guys, their question was why North Cyprus. Obviously, there is the opportunity in terms of long term, and in compared to the south side, the returns are great. But again, you could have identified somewhere else, which is a recognized country, and
Well, this is a place
thank
where
you.
you don't feel as if you are burdened by
Yeah, yeah,
uh,
there is this
racism.
influence of the country. Yeah, kind of. Well, you could call it racism. I don't want to, use it as
Yeah,
a full
yeah.
stop
That,
racism.
for lack of a better word, uh,
Yeah, yeah.
it's a
Like
place.
I
It's a place
understand
you
the
feel
concept
comfortable
where
investing, where people won't take advantage of you.
yeah, yeah, and like with banks in the UK, my dad, he had his bank accounts frozen and told to withdraw money, and he couldn't open account in like major safe banks, which was obviously a concern for us if we establish a legal business, and then we'll be the owners. What could this difficulties could this business face there? So as of now, we decided to start off in North Cyprus and then be moving abroad once the whole situation gets better in terms of this whole thing, which I could understand. The bank side of things, they're political as well. They don't want any
Right.
trouble, so they have to react in some way.
But
So don't blame them. But for that reason, we decided to go North Cyprus, a safer option for us.
this is sort of the epitome of why crypto exists. Is is people need a fair shake.
Yeah,
No matter who you are, even if even if you got a whole bunch of debt, people need a fair shake, and crypto provides that. And if you got the right builders, the right ideas, the right community, and the right ambitions, you can do some big things. And I think that's why I'm part of the space, is because I think it's taken over, especially the real estate market. It's all gonna be wrapped up in NFTs. Every every property on Earth, I think, is gonna be wrapped up in an NFT one day. Even
yeah, I
even
agree with
active
you.
mortgages, even active
Yeah,
active loans will be traded on a decentralized marketplace. So Yeah.
We're actually communicating to one project. I won't spoil its name just yet because they
Okay.
haven't really gone public. They've been more kind of working in the background, but they are actually working on a mortgage system based on NFTs. When you buy an NFT, you don't kind of buy it, but you mortgage an NFT, and then you pay for that NFT. And once the NFT is all paid for, then it's transferred to your wallet, and the NFT is linked to the actual property. So possession of the NFT itself gives you possession of the property, and they're kind of working on all of that stuff currently. You may have heard of
Okay.
them before. You might know who I'm talking about here.
No,
But
no. No, don't
uh,
spoil their name, but go ahead and contact them and ask them if they'd like to do an AMA. We've got a whole
yeah,
lot of people here that will bite your head off for a good investment opportunity. So,
definitely, definitely. And we've been contacting the financial partnerships and working together because obviously we're going for real estate and they're going for mortgages, and that could work out together greatly. So they're a great project. I will talk to them and tell them that it's a good opportunity for them to kind of start their building their public image, because so far they've been mainly kind of working in the background, developing everything first before they go out there and introduce themselves to the world.
all right. So, I buy a 500. I buy two $500 NFTs in your project.
My pleasure.
That
And yeah,
that buys me exactly what percentage of what property here?
uh,
Or does it just
we
buy
are not
into
current,
the entire pool?
mm, we are not currently linking the actual NFTs to property. We would do that. That's obviously a great idea to do, and we've been thinking of it. The issue is here in North Cyprus, despite it being very crypto friendly, in most of the shops you can pay with crypto actually. You just go there, they have a QR code, you scan it, it gives you the wallet, and send you crypto and get your items. But there is no legal foundation for things such as NFTs and ability to link them to the actual property. So even if we
Well,
try to
no.
establish something like this,
Well,
sorry?
you could do it. Well, what happens? What happens with where does so the $500? Well, I'm buying two theoretically here. So the $1,000 investment goes into the entire pool of investment money that you use to buy properties in Cyprus.
Yeah, yeah.
And
And
it will obviously take at least a year um,
yeah,
for
yeah,
profits to roll in. You'll have to cover overhead. Uh, so at least a year. And at that year, a vote is opened up to take profits or reinvest profits.
exactly.
Every
Yeah,
every single year.
yeah. Every single year we'll present the ROI that we're getting from the properties
Okay.
and present what ROI will be going to the community. And I would just want to touch a little bit on the thing that you mentioned before about how much of the pool and how much of the property you're getting. As I mentioned, there is no practical laws to actually link the NFTs to the properties themselves here in North Cyprus. So even if we try to do something like this, straight connection to the real estate, then it won't be possible. But we will be establishing a business abroad, which will be in possession of those properties,
Right.
and we have plans to link that business to the NFTs themselves. And we're currently working with a legal team, the same that helped Ace Miners and Hydro Whales back in the day.
Okay.
Today, I'm having a call with them actually later on. We meant to have it a bit earlier, but they had something going on, so we kind of moved it a bit forward. And we're currently talking to them to kind of establish, partnership with them in terms of working with them, and they will provide us with a legal audit and legal support to really do all those stuff. Because I know basics of how to do it, and then we'll get the professionals on board to actually properly establish that connection of those NFTs to the business we're going to be having abroad. But that is all to come later once we, get in contact with them, work everything out, and then we'll be able to roll it out to the community. But as of now, before that takes place, this will be just an NFTs which will pay or which we will pay to from the profits, but there won't be an established connection between the NFT itself and the properties here, because as I mentioned, there's no legal grounds for those connections to be established. And if you do that somewhere abroad, then here it won't be recognized as like a legitimate connection, you know. So this why it would have to be a connection to a business that will be based abroad.
So you're basically you're offering $500 bite size investment opportunities into the real estate of Cyprus.
Yeah, yeah,
Love it.
and obviously the utility from partnerships we're gonna have, and obviously the airdrop of token as well, which will come into play later. But those kind of two separate things, we like to keep them separate because the payout is just to do with properties, and then all the investments into crypto and those side of things is like an extra added bonus with extra utility from partners, access to things that our partners will be creating, and you will be getting the token. And obviously, we can't project exactly how much the token will be worth when you get it, because you might get it and then it drops in value, or you might get it and it skyrockets in value. So we don't want to give any estimations on that, but we keep it as an added bonus that you get as time goes on.
So if you own one of these, at least one of these NFTs, you get partner airdrops.
Yeah, yeah, basically, like you get some utility, some benefits from our partners. And important thing I forgot to mention actually, uh, during our scaling phase and all those building, you know, building out the partnerships, building out the portfolio and investment, you know, returns from it, holders won't be seeing much utility, and especially in the first and second year, really, because you know that's when you know all the development will be really taking place and scaling up of things. So therefore, we have an allocated budget for monthly raffles, which is a simple thing that we kind of entertain holders with before we get to that real strong utility that will really keep them happy. And it will be simple raffles like of blue chip NFTs. We would potentially use that budget to purchase some upcoming NFTs and stuff like that to be given to you know to someone among the holders in terms of a raffle. So the more NFTs you have, the better potential you have to win that NFT. And another thing we're doing is a grand giveaway, as we call it, a grand raffle, which will be held among the holders only. Will take place after mint out, and we'll be giving away one property worth up to $100,000 here in North Cyprus, and most likely somewhere close to where me and my co-founder will be based.
That's
The reason
crazy.
we do that, sorry,
That's crazy.
it is
That's
crazy,
worth
and
so much money. That's worth that's worth
it
so
is worth very much money, yeah.
that's worth so
And
much
the reason
passive income.
we
But
think of it, well, from what we calculated, we'll still be able to provide good returns based off
well,
the initial investment.
you
And the
guys,
reason we do,
you guys are, I imagine you guys would be responsible for maintenance. You know,
yeah, yeah, we'll be
so
responsible
yeah,
for main
yeah. So
and all of this.
even though you own it, you guys are still gonna need a little cut perpetually because you're maintaining the place because obviously most investors are not living there, so they can't
Yeah,
be
well, if they wouldn't want the property, then we could take care of selling it, and then
mowing
you
the
know.
grass. That's the things I'm talking about. You know what I mean? Mowing the
Yeah,
grass.
well, those stuff it's really not that expensive here. The
Well,
prices are quite low, especially labor.
now
So
is
we're not planning to really charge a winner on those charges. You
well.
know, we could scoop it in, but you know that is to be decided because it'd be like maybe
Let's say
few
I
$100 a year or something, you know, for maintenance. So it's not a big issue really, if you ask me.
okay. Well, yeah, yeah. Let's say I buy a whole property through Reno. Now I don't have to worry about if things need to be
So,
fixed.
yeah, yeah, yeah. So it's
So it's
another
like a
sort of
reverse
another
renting. So
in a
instead,
way, yeah, it's another kind of service we offer, as we're working with local realtors who are very experienced. If you wanna invest in North Cyprus yourself, avoiding RENO, just simply going into the market, then we will connect you to the right people, and they'll be doing kind of a subletting contract with you, for example, where you rent it out to them for, let's say, $300 a month, just an abstract number, and then they rent it out for 400. They get their cut of the profit, you get the rest of the profit, and you don't have to worry about all the maintenance, the tenants, and stuff like that. That's a possibility we offer as well to anyone who wants to go through it.
Sounds like a great place to get up and move to right now.
Amazing, man, mate. I would, well, for some, it's not for everyone. North
Right,
Cyprus, as I mentioned, is a developing area. There is still a lot, to develop here. It
right.
lacks some of
Yeah,
the benefit that you get in first world countries, which is understandable with the whole development and the post-war kind of situation.
right.
But yeah, it's good potential. And also would mention on the property we're giving away. The reason we do it is obviously promo. It sounds great, people might buy just for the fact of getting that. And
What is
another one
a
is, yeah.
$100,000 property in Cyprus look like?
Well, that depends on the area you get it in. We're gonna be probably getting it by the sea view because sea view is
Yeah.
an ideal area. You could get a two-bedroom apartment for that, or you can get a three or a four-bedroom apartment for that, depending on the area where you get it in. It could be a villa, it could be a flat.
And then,
We've seen some potential properties that would fit that criteria, but it's still to take place. We have in mind an idea where we choose a few properties and then we put it out to holders and say which one you want us to purchase to go for the raffle, and that'd be an option
what's the
as well.
average monthly rent?
Average monthly rent, again, it all depends on the area. The market is quite uneven here. For example, me, I rent for 650 a month, and you can get rent places that you can
I'm
rent
assuming
for
you got a great deal on that.
quite a good one, yes, because
Yeah.
I was working with the guy that we were working with, so he got me in. It was like his friend of a friend, so
So are we
it's
are we
like
talking about 1,000 for a studio for like a one bedroom?
uh, as I said, depends. For a studio, it will be something along $600. I
Okay.
have a two-bedroom actually for 650, and I got a very good deal.
Mm-hmm.
And normally for this kind of place in a good area, you would pay around 80, 850 to 1,100
Okay.
dollars a. So yeah, the rents
It's not
are
bad.
relatively low. So as the
Yeah.
price of the buildings themselves.
Oh, three bedroom in this area is about three
So
three
in my
thousand
area,
dollars a month.
uh, this property that I'm living in, it's a two-bedroom, and it's called a penthouse, which I wouldn't call it a penthouse, but that's what they call it because it has like a massive. It's a top floor and has like a massive like balcony,
Yeah.
which is
Yeah.
about 3 by 4, I think, meters.
Feels like a
So
penthouse. Yeah.
yeah, and this property was worth 75,000 at the time when they bought it. Now it's worth about $80,000.
Okay.
But the prices here they kind of grow and fall, grow and fall. Overall they grow,
Oh yeah.
but then there is peak
Yeah.
times and less peak times, and it's really based on the season. When it's a good season and tourists come, you always get tourists that just like, oh, this is a lovely place, I will buy a property here. And then when it's not a tourist time, then the price drop a bit, and obviously that is the time that we're going to be getting into the market very strongly.
Awesome. Awesome. I. Hey, is there anything we didn't cover here that you would like? Is there anything we didn't cover that you would like to talk about here? You know,
Mhm.
before we wrap it
I
up.
think we covered the majority of things. One of the things I
Yeah.
would also mention, we really want to establish trust and transparency in our community, as obviously, the community need to believe in us as in founders to grow this business and then do the payouts, because as we've seen from the crypto space, a lot of scams is around and people don't get their payouts eventually. So we try to be as transparent as possible. I always have my camera on. We always talk about what our plans are for each purchase. We will be uh, throwing out there a plan of what we have what projections we have on that property, how much we're going to be buying it for, the area it's in, the price based of the infrastructure that's around it and the material that the house was built out of. So kind of a very detailed report on all the properties. So then any holder, if they really wanted to, they could really track down where all the money goes and how it moves. I also encourage people, if they're going to South Cyprus or North Cyprus, to open a ticket in our Discord, drop me a message, tag me in that, yo, I'm coming to Cyprus in those dates. Let's try and meet up. And, I'm completely open to meeting up with you guys, showing you around the island, or simply going for a coffee and talking about crypto and the crypto market in its current red stage, as I would say. So, yeah, we
Yeah,
try to get
honestly,
transparent as
I
possible.
want to
If
hop on a
anyone
plane right
has,
now and come have a coffee. That's what I feel like doing right
yeah,
now.
yeah, exactly. Then if you guys are coming here, drop a message to me. We'll connect up and meet up. We talk about stuff. We're completely transparent. As much as we try to be, we're fully doxed. We have our faces, our names. We've been doxed by Doxed.io, and then Yabonks actually did a dox. Well, he doxed us as well technically.
Yep.
He was really going for us, and because we're young and don't have that much
Right.
exposure
Right.
in the field, it was hard to find info on us. And it came to the point where he found my and my co-founder's college pictures from our graduation, where I had our picture and our name on the bottom. And that's when he actually fully doxed us. He was like, "Okay, now I know everything about you." You will see some of it in the AMA, which should be coming out soon. It's been
That's
taking some
funny.
time, but
Yeah,
it will
he's
be
a
there.
character. He's a good guy, and he's
Yeah,
responsible for setting this up. So thank you, you bunks. I don't think you're here.
yeah.
I don't think you'll
No,
listen to this, you mother effer. But thank you, you bunks. Um, if that's all, we'll wrap it up here. Thanks for coming.
yeah.
We
I was going to say we planning to mint in about 3 weeks. The exact date
three
is not out yet.
weeks.
Our estimated date is the 5th of March, but
Okay.
that might change by a few days, but it won't be any more than 1 week, give or take, from that date. So prepare your money, guys. Get ready to be minting. And our collection size is 4,115 NFTs. Sneak peeks could be seen in our Discord. The 4,000 NFTs, those will be sold, and 115 NFTs, those are free mints. And in order to acquire a free mint, we sometimes do raffles. We give it to our very active Discord members. So if you come in now and you act in our Discord, then you could potentially get a free mint from us as a OG supporter and all that stuff. And we also have a RENO cash system thing in our Discord. It's like inside Discord currency, which you can farm by talking to people. There are commands. You can like work. You can rob people. It's a little fun game we have. And if you have a lot of that RENO cash, you can actually purchase a free mint. There is limited amount of free mints out there. So it's a
That's
bit of
interesting.
opportunity for you guys to
That's cool.
grab that. Yeah, and the rest, there will be some free mints that will be kept behind to be used for partnerships and stuff like that, where we would give some of the mints to another project and receive something in return, something similar of value. So it will be an equal exchange of value there. And also, as I mentioned, we do raffles, and I've actually wanted to do a raffle here today and raffle out one free mint in your community if you're up for it. All I need
Absolutely.
from you,
Absolutely.
all I need from you is just find a winner for me, give me the wallet, and we will add him to our free mint list. And when the time comes, all they will need to do is just log in, pay the gas fee, and the NFT is theirs.
So they'll get one of these $500 NFTs.
Yeah. Well, it's $500 on the whitelist and $600 on the public. So you can say they're 600, or you can say they're 500. You know,
Well, they'll get one
whatever.
of them. Cool.
Yeah.
Awesome.
And if you want to get on the whitelist, guys, it's very easy. You just need to fill out a Google form, put your wallet in, put your socials in. We'll check if you follow us on Twitter and Discord. And then if you are, then you will be added to the whitelist and you'll be able to mint. It's an easy whitelist. We got an inspiration from Xborgs, the way they did their mints. So yeah, if you want to get in it, jump in our Discord, go to official links, go to our link tree, and in the link tree you will find the whitelist application.
Okay. We'll probably add this to our web app to enter opt in to win the NFT. Thank you. We appreciate that.
No worries.
And we like to follow up on projects that we AMA and have in here. And, keep an eye on them, see how they're doing. And once you launch, we'd like to have you back. And,
Absolutely.
Yeah.
My pleasure.
Yeah, this went well. Thank you for coming. And I look forward to your success and seeing you back here.
Thank you, much appreciated. Thanks for your time here today, and thanks to all of you guys who came in today. Check out RENO. It's a great place to be in and a great investment. For RENO followers and members who are here today, you can see Hork here, one of our moderators actually. He's been our fan originally, and then he got promoted to moderator. And Siraf Mir, hello to you as well, mate. I encourage you guys to check out Lodge Finance. They're doing amazing things with crypto, which I can't even get my head around some of them. So definitely dig in and look at it. Take your time. It's complicated, but it's definitely worth it. They're building something that no one else is building in the space. At least not at that level that they're doing it and with that experience. So
Yeah.
get in, check them out, and thanks for your time here today, guys.
Yeah, we're about to double our docs too. So thanks for coming. Appreciate your time and look forward to having you back. And wish you all the success. Thank you.
Thank you very much, mate. Peace out.
Thanks, everybody.